Question 11. Raul is the manager of a restaurant. He wants to find out how often local people eat in a restaurant. Raul is going to carry out a survey using a questionnaire. Part A says design a suitable question for Raul to use on his questionnaire. So, could be something like, how often do you visit a restaurant in 1 week? Okay, now that is the most important bit, the time frame there. Okay, the time period. You could even say in a fortnight or a month if you wanted to, but as long as it's got some sort of time frame, then that question's going to be okay. Okay, now it's going to have a minimum of 3 response boxes. Okay, and they shouldn't overlap. Okay, so 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, and also I'm going to have one more box saying 4 plus. Okay, now that's not overlapping, okay, because this is 3 to 4 and this means more than 4. Okay, so it doesn't overlap. Now if I accidentally put 5 plus, which is a very common mistake, then I haven't given an option if they visited a restaurant in 1 week 5 times, because 5 plus means more than 5. Okay, so I'll have 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, and nowhere to put 5, and 5, more than 5 would be this box. So that's a really common mistake, so just be careful. Okay, so this is a 2-mark question. Let's have a look at how you get those marks. So the first mark is for the question itself, and as long as it's got some sort of time period, then that will get you the first mark. The second mark is a minimum of 3 response boxes that are not overlapping. Okay, so that gives you the second mark there. Okay, now part B says the two-way table shows information about the ages of the customers in Raul's restaurant one evening. Okay, so just take a little time to have a look at this two-way table. So your ages, so 0 to 16, there's 8 who are male. 17 to 30, you've got 10 who are male. 31 to 60 are female. Okay, now everyone, male and female, so you add these two up, so you've got 19 people who are 17 to 30. Okay, so Rahul carries out his survey using only 3 customers. Only these customers, sorry. He uses a sample of 50 of these customers stratified by gender and by age. Okay, calculate the number of males aged 70 to 30 in his sample. So he's going to ask 50 people that's stratified by gender and age. How many people is he going to use that are male, that are 17 and 30? First of all, males who are 17 to 30, there are 10 of those out of a total of 127 people. Okay, now a lot of the times in the papers they don't give you these totals here. This time they've been nice to you. Okay, so you have to work those out yourself. Okay, so 10 out of 127 will be males who are 17 to 30. Okay, now that is the proportion of people who are male and 17 to 30. Okay, now I want to find that proportion of 50. Okay, so I'm going to times that, put that into my calculator, and see how many people is going to be in his sample of 50 people. So 10 divided by 127 times by 50, so 3.9 370. Okay, now it says calculate the number of males aged 17 to 30 in the sample. So I found a proportion who are male and 17 to 30, and I wanted to find that proportion of 50, and that gives me 3.937 of a person. So we're going to have to round that to 4 people. Okay. So part B is worth 2 marks. The first mark is a method mark for times in the proportion by the 50 people. Okay. And the second mark comes from an answer of 3 or 4. Either one is absolutely fine, whether you rounded this down or up. Okay, but you can't leave it like that because you cannot get 3.937 of a person. Okay, so there's the 2 marks. Now, rule survey is biased. Part C says give 2 possible reasons why. So I just want to remind ourselves actually what's going on. So one day, this is the people in his restaurant for one evening, okay, and he gives out his questionnaire, his survey, is biased. Okay, so why is it biased? I think the best way to do this is if I paste in a part of the mark scheme. Okay, so you can have any 2 reasons. This part is worth 2 marks, so 2 reasons would get 2 marks. 1 reason would get 1 mark. Okay, so 2 reasons. For example, not able to get 0 as a response. Of course, if he's just taken that from one night of his restaurant, everyone in there is going to a restaurant. So if you don't go to a restaurant, you wouldn't be in there, so you can't get a 0 response. Ages and genders not representative. Only does it on one day or one evening. Okay, so that makes it biased if it only does it on one day, one evening. There's your 2 marks, and that's it.